Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees for the Village of Burr Ridge. It is July 10th. Our first order of business, of course, is a Pledge of Allegiance, but having no one here to lead us, let us all stand. Zach, take it up.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Actually, the youngest one here, right?
Oh, I'm good on the spot for that one.
Okay, Karen, may I have roll call, please?
Trustee Francis. Trustee Model.
Here.
Trustee Pavesa.
Here.
Trustee Mattel.
Here.
Trustee Snyder.
Yes.
Trustee Schiappa. Mayor Straub.
Here. First item is the residents' comments. Are there any residents that would like to address the board at this time? Oh, I'm sorry. Please come to the microphone. And introduce yourself, where you're from, and also limited to 5 minutes. But I think
Sure.
you already know that. I know you don't plan on talking that long, but.
Okay, my name is Lori Chang. I live at 9550 Pacific Court in Falling Water, Burr Ridge. I'm here because of the proposal of the asphalt plant that they're going to be putting in off of Bluff Road and Route 83. I just heard about that a couple days ago. I had no idea that they were contemplating that. Living in that area, the amount of noise, traffic, they're talking possibly 400 trucks daily going back and forth, picking up the asphalt, taking it. The noise, the owner of the asphalt plant was asked, when are going to be the operating hours? You're not going to do this at night, are you? And he said, oh, yes, we are, because we do road work at night. So we have to have it available 24/7. So they will be working all hours of the day. Living in that area in South Burr Ridge, that's really going to be the noise, just the poison, the dust, the traffic. It's going to be a nightmare, and I'm surprised I hadn't heard anything about it. They were going to put it in Lamont at one time, and then that fell through, and then they were going to put it in another area of Lamont, and Lamont said, no, you can't have it in our village. So they go to DuPage County. Also, it's going to be right off of Bluff Road and Route 83 by Argonne, the Forest Preserve, which is going to affect the wildlife. It's just going to be a nightmare. And I just had this feeling, I was talking to the mayor a little bit earlier, when things go wrong, people seem to call me because I'll go and address it. But I just feel living in South Burr Ridge, we always are kind of like the stepchild. I mean, it's like we're always fighting for our rights. We pay a ton of taxes. We have beautiful topography, nice people, but like we just went through this thing with Hinsdale South and Hinsdale Central. That was a nightmare, and I went to every meeting, and it was just a nightmare. The Groot, I went to that, everything, but I am very concerned about this because it's going to affect the value of our property. All the, now when realtors are selling houses, they're saying, well, you don't want to be in this school district, you'd rather be in that school district. They're going to be saying, you don't want to be by this concrete or this asphalt factory. It goes 24/7, there's trucks, and people are going to be like, yeah, maybe you're right. And I just don't think that's fair to us. And I'd like some sort of help to, because I didn't even read it in the doings. I mean, I knew nothing about this until a couple days ago, and I think it's big. I think it's a big deal. And that's basically why I was here, if anybody knew about it, and just to bring it to your attention and just tell you there's a lot of unhappy people, and I know it's going to happen to my house, and I know the taxes I paid, and it is very inequitable.
Yeah, Lori, Lori, what I'd like to do is at the end of the meeting, under the reports and communications of village officials, I'll have ask the village administrator to address what he knows about it, just very briefly, and he'll be able to meet with you tomorrow or next day to go find out, to get everybody up to date on it, and then we will address that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay. Next item is items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. And there will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event I will be removed from the consent agenda. First off, ordinances. Approval of ordinance authorizing the disposal of personal property owned by the Village of Burr Ridge, miscellaneous vehicles. That's 6A. Nothing under resolutions. Under considerations, we have 8A, approval of contract for repair of a village street sweeper. The 8B, approval recommendation to award contract for crack filling. 8C, approval vendor list in the amount of $145,058.82 for all funds, plus $213,753.65 for payroll, for a grand total of $358,812.47, which includes special expenditures of $13,626.61 to Patrick Engineering Incorporated for the 79th Street at LAFO Engineering Professional Services, $14,000 to Moody's Investor Services for debt 2017 for refinancing and the rating of the rating agency, and $18,535 to Spear Financial Incorporated for debt 2017, also refinance and financial advisors. May I have a motion to approve the following items on the consent agenda? 6A, 8A, 8B, and 8C.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Model?
Yes.
Trustee Snyder? Trustee Skiappa?
Yes.
Trustee Pavesa?
Yes.
Trustee Martell?
Yes.
5-0.
Under other considerations for announcement, deliberation, and/or discussion? Anything? Additional section for residents' comments? And reports and communications from village officials? Yes, you just address it briefly and then.
Sure. The village board has taken action on the asphalt batching plant, the proposed asphalt batching plant. I believe it was the last board meeting, they adopted a resolution objecting to the conditional use that's being requested, and that has been submitted to the county. The village assistant to the village administrator, Evan Walters, sitting next to you, is the contact person on village staff. Evan will be attending the public hearing, which was continued to July 20th. I'll have Evan also send a notice to the homeowners association reminding them of the July 20th meeting. The village has every right and will continue to object to this, but ultimately the DuPage County Zoning Board and Board will make the decision. And so residents are encouraged to become informed and, if concerned, appear at the public hearings in Wheaton.
Where will they be?
In Wheaton at the DuPage County offices.
We know what time, is it 7 or 6? Oh, 6. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And all the more reason for us to get in contact with our representatives on the board.
Yes, and I should say I have been in contact with District 3 Representative Gary Grasso, and he's following this closely as well and working with us on this.
Any other reports, communications? Okay. Are there any non-residents who'd like to address the board at this time?
Good evening. My name is Dolores Caesar. I'm a former trustee. At the last board meeting, I talked about property taxes in the state of Illinois. And I said there was an article in the Tribune, but I didn't have a chance to copy it, so I provided a copy for all of you tonight. This next page is pretty important, I think, to the businesses that are on the Cook County side in Burr Ridge. In mid-October of last year, the Cook County Board adopted ordinances that impact all the businesses in Cook County, and it will impact the Burr Ridge businesses located on the Cook County side of the village. The ordinances pertain to an increase in the minimum wage and up to 5 paid sick leave days per year for employees who work a full 40-hour week. The ordinances took effect July 1st, 2017. However, it should be noted that more than 50 Cook County municipalities have opted out of these ordinances, including LaGrange. And I provided an article that ran in Suburban Life. It's the next page. It ran July 5th, and they voted on it June 26th. They voted to opt out. Now, my question is, and you can see from the levy that I provided above, that the levy for Cook County, the Cook County levy is 3 times greater than the levy for DuPage County. Was the village aware of these ordinances? Did the village have any discussion of these ordinances? Did the village take any action on these ordinances? It would seem to me you could have opted out the businesses that are on the Cook County side. The businesses in the village center and the county line square will be much affected by these ordinances. Now, as an afternote, we were in business in Hinsdale for over 40 years. And I have to say, I really would have resented if a regulation had told us what the minimum wage was going to be and how many sick days we would give an employee. I think that every individual business should do that as they see fit and not be regulated. In any event, it seems to me that the village had an opportunity to opt out to protect their businesses on the Cook County side, and what action did they take? Now, I gave each of you a copy of this, and I'll also pass around a copy of the map. Maybe you already have a copy. I would like to pass it around and show you. It's about 40% of the village is in Cook County, and the only businesses I could think of was the village center and County Line Square. But they will certainly be impacted. Thank you.
Well, Dolores, thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. That was actually addressed at a previous meeting, and I'm going to ask Doug Pollock to give you the details.
Well, the details are that the village board voted to opt out. I think that was back in March.
The board did what? I don't hear well.
The village board opted out, like all those other 50, and I think it's up to 79,
89, I believe now.
89 municipalities in Cook County, along with Burr Ridge, have opted out as was
That's good.
allowed.
I'm glad
We
that
did
that
that
was
some
done.
time ago.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mayor, I wanted to address, I believe Lori was your name. Yeah, I appreciate what you said, and I was thinking, Mayor, she made some other comments about, your property taxes into school districts and selling homes and the home value, realtors say, don't go to the district, don't go to that one. We don't have a lot of authority over the school boards here at this board, that's a school board issue. But I share your concern, I live in the village here, we all live in the village, my family lives in the village, and I think those are issues. So I just want to compliment you for getting involved and going to the board meetings where you can impact that and can affect those property taxes and can change those school districts around, because I think some of us have talked and we share your concerns. So I hope that you're successful, and if we can support, Mayor, hopefully I'm not out of line in saying that.
Just in timing.
Thank you.
Yes, I totally agree, and to be announced.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Schiappa.
Yes.
Trustee Snyder.
Yes.
Trustee Martell.
Yes.
Trustee Pavesa.
Yes.
Trustee Model.
Yes.
5-0.
Thank you again for joining us. Have a blessed evening.